Well, hello folks, welcome to another gas station simulator video. I am the Custard Prophet, and this is the last one of these videos that I'm going to do for a little while. We're going to be focusing on the DLCs of Gas Station Simulator. I've played through all three of them, and really I'm going to be talking about whether they represent value for money and whether they're any good, whether they're worth you considering. We're not going to be talking about the base game, and if you're interested on a review of the base game, then well, there is a whole other video which I will link down in the description below, and you can go and check that out. But we're looking at these three DLCs: Can't Touch This DLC, the Airstrip DLC, and the Party Time DLC. And we're going to look at each one of these in turn, the order I've played them in. We'll talk about what the DLC consists of, what you get up to, the good things about it, the not so good things about it, and also finally I'm going to give it a little bit of a rating out of 10, and then sort of talk about whether it is value for money or not. Hopefully this will be something really useful for you. If you have played any of these DLCs or all of them, or just kind of are aware of them and watched them maybe on the channel, I want you to put your ratings down below. Watch the video first and then put your ratings down below. Are they value for money? And I want a rating out of 10 for each one of them. Okay folks, we're going to start with the Can Touch This DLC, and this one is, I think, had so much potential because it's exactly what this game needed. So the Can Touch This DLC was a way that we could modify the gas station. This is what was really needed, because all of the kind of upgrades to this gas station are pretty kind of linear in terms of the game progress. You kind of go from A to B to C to D, and everything is in the same place. Well, not with this particular DLC. Yes, there are a few things that are sort of typical upgrade material, but I think the really interesting thing is the jackhammer tool, which you can access, which is this guy. So we are not able to access this when the station is open, so we'll close the station and you can have a little look at what this does. Station is closed, everyone is running away, but what this allows you to do is completely customize your gas station. So if I want to change the floors, I have all the options that you could possibly want to change the floors to. Okay, you have to pay for it, but look at some of these options. They are absolutely gorgeous. These kind of, look at that, it's just absolutely brilliant little options. We could be in a swimming pool, we could, what the heck is that? Nobody knows. So there's all sorts of options. We could be like at the seaside, so that's the floor, but you could also do the same to the roof, for example. We can have, look at that, some sort of crazy, whatever that is, type gas station. We could have what looks like a normal gas station, but as you can see, this one can't be painted. And again, you can do the same thing to the walls, the same thing in here as well. The other really cool thing is, so you can change the texture of the walls. You can include windows as well, so you can add additional windows, and this is one way I think you can get a bit more light into the game, which is one of the issues that I talked about earlier. Now, I really like this idea. I think it's absolutely brilliant, but the problem is it only does it for this gas station. It doesn't do it. It won't do it for the workshop. Okay. Only the gas station can be customized. We can't do the workshop, can't do the warehouse, can't do the car wash. It's just the gas station. We can't move the skip, but what we can do is we can move some of the things inside the gas station. So we are able to move this, the cash register. We can actually organize the queue, and we can move the bins inside. So everything inside the gas station becomes movable, but everything outside the gas station doesn't, and that is why I think it doesn't quite hit the levels that it should do. There are some upgrades associated with this, and there's upgrades to the gas station itself. So you can get up to level 7, which increases the size. There's also an upgrade, a couple of upgrades to the warehouse, and that increases the amount of fuel and storage space. It goes to a point where the amount of fuel and storage space is beyond what you'd ever need. So that upgrade is pretty superfluous, unfortunately. Having a bit more space in here is really nice because there are a lot of different things you can sell. So actually sort of spacing things out and having a load of options in here, I do like that. That's absolutely fine. There are some placeables, and that's the case with all of these DLCs that we can add. And you can add placeables to the warehouse and the workshop, which you couldn't do before, which is a nice thing. But again, it's not fully upgraded, is it? It's not a full customization. It's kind of like an itty bitty customization, and that feels a little bit of a letdown to me. I came into this with this particular DLC thinking, oh my, this is going to be awesome, and I left feeling a little bit, nah, it wasn't quite as much as I hoped, which was a little bit disappointing. So these are the upgrades that you've got. The more and the merrier. So yeah, you've got upgrades, the warehouse and the workshop, as I said. You also get the airbrush. I thought that was with the Party Time DLC, but it's also with this. The airbrush is, I mean, you get to put these sort of things on the walls. This didn't sell it to me at all. The old airbrush. It was not. It was not the. I didn't get it. It wasn't something that was, brilliant and beautiful, like that beautiful Ferris wheel out there. So in the end, I was kind of left feeling just a little bit underwhelmed with this DLC. I would have liked something where you could customize the stuff out here, where you could get rid of this wreck here, where you could tidy all this up, maybe put some plants down or something like that, make it kind of really nice outside, and so your gas station then doesn't look anything like someone else's gas station, other than at the minute, the difference will be what style you go with there, but everything else is going to be the same. So that, that is, it's customizable, but it's not fully customizable. So in terms of how much this is, it's about £2 on Steam. So it's not very expensive. So you are getting value for money. The upgrades that you get a bit more space, you get some more tools, and I really, really like this. Oh, here's Dennis. Just a second. So just got rid of Dennis, but as you can see, we've got some work to do with him. But yeah, I want to see a little bit more customization, a little bit more options there to make this truly your own gas station. So yes, I think it is. Yeah, it was £2 on Steam. So yeah, I can't say it's not value for money, because for £2 you're getting a lot of upgrades, a little bit more space in the gas station. You get increased fuel space. There are some things I don't really like. I don't really like the air spray. I love the customizableness of the gas station itself, but that should have been more. So I think overall it could have been so much better. I'd give this DLC, I think, a 6 out of 10. So DLC number 2, it is the Airstrip. So this is something very different. We are across the road from the gas station, so immediately the Airstrip opens up a big old space, and there is a story associated with the Airstrip. So we get a bit of a story going on that we have to complete, kind of like the start of the game, which is nice, including a new character who is Joe, who flies this plane. There he is there, who consistently crashes the plane all the time, but he gives you some advice on how to improve the Airstrip and how to turn it into something in which you are going to get new, and in which you're going to get people using it. It's not quite what you think it's going to be. You start off with a very shabby looking shed, and you have to kind of build it up into what this is at now, and I love what they've done with it. I really, really love the aesthetics of this. You have to kind of brush away cobwebs now and again. I'm not seeing any, but as you upgrade the various areas, you get this beautiful kind of decorative aspect to it, which is brilliant. There's so much to this particular DLC. It's fantastic. You also have Toei that you can drive, so it's another vehicle, and this allows you to go and collect Joe's plane every time he crashes it. So essentially you've got a number of upgrades here, and we'll just go through those. So you've got the storage facilities, which we'll talk about in a second. So you're upgrading the airstrip itself, so that you get a runway in, you get a fixing spot in for Joe, so you can duct tape his plane together, and then you put in a trade airstrip, and then a second trade airstrip. And this is the important thing here. So you can start to trade with people who come in either more locally or from Europe, etc. And this leads on to something which is a splendid addition to the game, and it fits beautifully with everything else. So there is a communication center, and this is important because what we have up here, this is your communication center essentially. And as you upgrade this, these are the planes that are coming in. But this isn't about passengers coming in, this is about trading. And here we have a plane coming in from Canada in 2 minutes, and we've got a plane coming in from Cuba in about 2 minutes. And you can see the top row is what they're bringing, and the bottom row is what they want to trade. So basically I'm going to buy in a bunch of these things, and then I can trade for some of these things. And these are novel items. A lot of these are novel items that you can sell in your gas station, so these Cuban cigars, but you won't be able to buy them in the normal way. So I think that's a brilliant addition to the game. So you have all these kind of like luxury foreign goods that you can add. The other really nice thing are these blueprints, and these blueprints allow you to buy these kind of huge placeables that you can put around the airfield, and it's such a massive space. So the train graveyard, you've got a large Australian rock, which I have put in. You've got this Cuban convertible and a bunch of other things. This Canadian Axeman as well, and all of that. I think it works beautiful. Oh, there's the windmill as well. So there's a whole load of different things that you can kind of work towards, which is fantastic. As you can see, not everywhere has a blueprint. You can so this one you don't get a blueprint, but as you upgrade the communication center, so we're at the top level, you can see more and more of what is available here. So initially you can only see the first couple of things, so what the first thing that they have and the first thing that you have. But as you upgrade, you can plan better and better because you've got more idea on what they're bringing as they get closer. The other way to earn blueprints is through Joe. So if you get, in this instance, this Adalbert's Gentle Gin, you can get 10 of those. You can give him that, he'll give you a blueprint. There is also fueling here. So we have we haven't got any fuel in here at the minute, but you can see here we've got fueling stations for both of these, so we can fuel up the plane, and this is a really good way to make a lot of money quite quickly because the planes take a heck of a lot. And when you are trading, there are a few different trading cards that you can add that increase the likelihood of the trade working. So those are earned as well with the communication center. So for example, the cogency trading skill, we've got, where's the other ones, the power of calm trading skill. So a whole bunch of different things. There is some cooldown associated with those trading skills, so I think the radio tower reduces that cooldown period, so it gives you it means that you can use the cards more quickly. So all in all, there is a heck of a lot that goes on with the Airstrip DLC. A lot going on, but it is a really nice addition. So, oh no, here we go. We've got the cobwebs up here. So yeah, we've got to get rid of these, brush them away. Yeah, there we go. So it's still a bit of maintenance. The problem, if there is a problem with this particular DLC, one of the issues is that you're across the road. So you do need to go back and forth quite a lot, because obviously if you are needing to stock things up, but there is a quick magic way to get back by interacting here, and this takes you right by the car wash, which is a really clever little way of making sure the game, you know, you don't kind of end up just running over the road constantly. So I'll just show you this briefly. We got nothing to trade them, but you can see here we've got these various cards. Still not quite worked out what this particular skill is, because I don't have it. It's reaching tier 5 of trading, but I have no idea where the different tiers of trading are. So that's something I've never actually figured out, and I'd love anyone in the comments to let me know if they've managed to figure it out. Yeah, I think there is lots and lots of really nice aspects to this. You've got a separate fuel station here, which so they come here. So you've got different fuel that comes in that you can add in. As I say, you've got a whole load more placeables that you can put in, and the map is huge, because you can see all the way over there where that little palm tree is. That's something that we've put in, one of the sort of decorations that we've put in. And that was part of it over there. So it goes on for ages. So you've expanded the map. You've got all this really cool stuff to do. I guess the one thing is, there is so much to do over here that you kind of forget what's going on in the actual gas station. And your staff, they can't come over here and man this. So all the trading has to be done by you. And you do end up kind of forgetting a bit about what is going on over there, unfortunately. But I mean, in terms of the other things that it's got, I really like this DLC. It's about £6 currently on offer on the summer sale, and for me this is a little gem to go alongside the actual the main game. It's a really lovely addition. I think at £6 it's a steal. It's really value for money, and you get a decent amount of gameplay. I think they say about 8 hours, but you know, when you're trying to get some of these placeables, if that's your thing, if you want to get some of these landmarks, some of them are so expensive. So you can see the ones we've got. We've got the train graveyard, Viva la Cuba. So these aren't too bad. But you've got to have enough blueprints to be able to get that. But then you get to the point where some of them are. This one particularly is an expensive one. The windmill, that's 2,500, and this one, I don't know where this one comes out, but it's 66,000. The world's largest rocking chair. I think this one is associated with it, so that would take a heck of a lot of time to collect that sort of money. Right, so what is my assessment of this DLC? Yeah, it is, in my opinion, really good. It is a little gem. It is absolutely value for money, as I said, and I would score this 8 out of 10 easily. It's a fantastic little addition to the game. I would thoroughly recommend this one. It's very good. The story helps. It drags you along a little bit, because I wasn't sure what all these other bits are for, and it kind of helps you. Yes, Joe gets a bit annoying, but you know, having to constantly go and collect him, and it does get a little bit monotonous with the trading and stuff, if that's all you're doing. But if you're intermingling that with the stuff around the gas station, then it just feels like it's all part of the same thing. I guess the other thing I didn't mention, you do get a communication device as one of your as one of the tools to add. Okay, next up is the Party Time DLC. As you can see, we have a dust storm coming through, which kind of sums up the Party Time DLC, really. I wanted to love this. I really did. There are some good things that have come with it. Let's go with that. There are some very nice things that have come with it. But unfortunately, the vast majority doesn't work like this. So there's two parts to the Party Time DLC. It's a free DLC, I should say, so you're definitely getting value for money. But what do you actually get with it? Well, the two upgraded sites you get. Number one is the party zone over here. Now, the party zone, it looks cool. I like the party zone. You've got some guitars and stuff like that, or some of which you can play, although the guitar playing doesn't work. And you can upgrade it, and the upgrades will give you some of these vending machines. And so, as far as I'm aware, you can't change what's in the vending machine. That's a thing. So you've got to just fill them up with those things, and people pay for them. That's how you get some money. But then the other thing the upgrade does, it brings in fireworks, it puts in like lighting and all sorts of things. It makes it look really cool, and you end up with something like this, which I think looks great. And then you get the party bus, that is the kind of upgraded party bus that comes along here, and it parks here. The problem is it gets stuck all the time. So everything seems a bit glitchy. It doesn't seem to fit well with the rest of the main game and DLC in this particular with this particular DLC. So you get these kind of these parties happening, and often it's just one person getting out. And I don't know, maybe it's something I'm doing, but the party zone just does not work for me. I like the look of it. It just doesn't work outside of that. The other thing that you get, and another thing I was immensely excited about, is the ice cream van that sits out here. Now, this can be manned by your employees, and as you can see, you've got a bunch of different ice creams. You start out with 4, and as you upgrade it, you can upgrade all the way to 10 flavours and 3 different sized cups, and a slightly bigger ice cream stand. The problem is, you make almost no money out of this. It's not worth even thinking about, because you just are not going to make any money out of it. So it's a nice idea, but because there's so little money made out of it, and you know, it's kind of fun to kind of have a go doing it, but it gets a bit, you know, it takes ages to actually serve the ice creams, because these people are the greediest people in the world, and they want about 5 flavours on top of each other, and then another load of flavours on another cone, and they pay about $3, and you think, well, that's not really value for money, is it? So in both cases, neither of those really did it for me. But there are a couple of saving graces. Number one, it's free. That's pretty good. We're going to open the gas station, I think. Number 2 is that absolute beauty. So there's 2 interactive placeables that you can put in. And the second one of those, the first one's terrible because it's just a seat with a guitar. This one is this Ferris wheel. Now you have to save up, it's about 12 grand to do, but you can take a ride in it, and there's a very hard to get achievement, which I think is called the Up in the Air achievement, and you can get that if you go to the top of the Ferris wheel, and you can take a photo at the top of your gas station. I really like that. It's a lovely touch, it looks awesome, and it lights up at night. What's not to love about that? So the Ferris wheel is awesome. The other thing that you've got that you can buy is the thing here, which is a tablet. So pressing this, you go straight to your computer. So you can do this from anywhere, which again, it's a really, really nice thing, because in both of these cases, the ice cream stand and the party zone, they're outside, so there isn't anything else that links up to those. So you have to have a way of buying in more stuff, so you can use the tablet to do that. So I kind of like that. But these aren't the main things. These aren't the main things associated with that. And as I say, so as you can see, the main areas you got don't really work. So the upgrades to the party zone, as I say, you get the spots, you get a smoke machine, a party lights, and then fireworks, and a mystery surprise, which I can't remember what that is. But I think all in all, it just doesn't do it for me, unfortunately, this one. So yes, okay, it's free. You can't say it isn't value for money because it's free. But if I was going to have to give this a kind of score out of 10, it's not going to do particularly well. And I think the only things that it's got going for it is the Ferris wheel, the handheld computer, and the fact that it's free. So I think I'd give it a 5 because of that. You've got some upgrades and things like that, but neither of them are particularly appealing. So it's a generous 5. Let's put it like that. Yes. So those are the 3 DLCs. It's worth saying there is a 4th DLC which has been announced, the Shady Deals DLC, and this particular DLC is where your uncle comes back. He may actually be part of the game. There may be a story associated with it, which would be great. And basically you're going to be doing all sorts of nefarious things as I get walked through. Jesus. I'm standing in the wrong place here. All sorts of nefarious things, and beyond card, nicking people from nicking things from people's trunks. So that should be coming quite soon, and I think that'll be fun when it arrives. But as things stand, that's a long way away, and I don't really know the details. But that is the 3 DLCs, so I hope you got something out of it. Hopefully it's useful for you. Remember, if you are someone who's played the game, then make sure you leave your review of those DLCs, brief review if you will, and particularly we want to see your ratings out of 10. Do you agree with what I've said, or do you like the airbrush, for instance? I don't get on with it, but was that something you enjoyed? What would you like to see? What would you like to see improvement wise, not new DLC wise, all those sort of things? Leave me some comments down below. As I said, also, if you want a video on the base game, a review of that, I have done that, and you'll see a link to that down below or at the end of this episode. Anyway, folks, that will do. I've been waffling on for far too long. Hopefully I'll be able to cut this down to something bite-sized for you. But if you have enjoyed the video, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll be back for another video if you're interested. For example, we have just started a Euro Truck 2 simulator save, which I'm really enjoying. So come along with that, and hopefully see you on the roads very shortly. Goodbye.